Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Gina, and let's talk about some plants. Let's look at some plants. Today's video is all about begonias, and basically I'm going to show you my entire collection of begonias. So I have been collecting begonias for, I've been collecting begonias since this year. But I have experience with begonias going back several years. When at the time, several years ago, I had a few begonias in my collection and I didn't really do very well with those begonias. I absolutely adore begonias and I decided that it was time to try again. And what really got me back into collecting the begonias was I really loved what they call, I believe they refer to them as terrarium begonias. Is it terrarium begonias? I think so. These are the begonias that basically they have to live in some sort of enclosure like a terrarium or like a cloche. They need really high humidity. So I collect not just the terrarium begonias, I collect Rex begonias, I collect the angel wing style. I collect them all, and some of these can very well, depending on your climate, they can live in ambient room conditions. All of my begonias are either in a cabinet, like the one you see behind me. Normally this door is kept closed, or they're in a terrarium, and I have my big fish tank terrarium filled with begonias and other plants also. Or they're in, you can't see it, but they're in a cloche sort of condition, or they're in my grow tent. So yeah, that is what has given me the most success. So as far as care for begonias, I have to say, and I know there are people out there who say begonias hate you. They don't hate you. They don't. Because I used to be one of those people. It's like, I can't keep begonias alive. I can't keep them looking nice. They don't hate you. They hate your environment. They just hate your environment. So, and giving care suggestions, I hate to do it because each person's environment is different. Like the conditions here in my home are so much different from the conditions in your home, guaranteed. Different humidity levels, different lighting situation, different temperature. Also, it could depend on your water quality, the water that you are watering your plants with. I mean, there are so many different things that can affect how well your begonias are growing for you. So I don't want to give care tips. I will say, in general, your begonias are going to want high humidity. They don't want to completely dry out. And temperature, I don't really know temperature. Mine stay pretty warm. Like in my one cabinet, it can get up to 90 degrees and they do just fine in there. So I think temperature-wise, it can vary greatly for them. But yeah, I mean, you don't want to get too extreme with your temperatures, high or low. But yeah, so what else? Just, the general lighting, bright and direct light. I've never given my begonias direct sunlight. I mean, they do catch some direct sun in the early morning when it comes through the window over here, but they're not sitting in direct sun all day. You don't want to do that. But bright and direct light, high humidity, and yeah, your begonias are going to do well. And there will be some adjustment period, trust me, because some of these, these all look pretty good in here, but when I first got them, they were looking they didn't look so great. They adjust. They will adjust to your conditions, and then they will start to look beautiful. So yeah, so I think that's all I wanted to talk about as far as care. We're going to start looking at some begonias, and we have a lot to get through, so we should just get started. And we're going to start right here, right with the plants you see right behind me. All right, so we are going to grab one of my favorites, this one right here. And of course, I can't remember the name offhand. Good thing I think I keep the names of all of these Some of them I know, just like bam, I know exactly what it is. And some of these I forget. So this one here, this is Begonia Biliarye, and this is the silver edge form. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so the reason I collect begonias, I think the thing that draws me to the begonias the most is because there are so many different colors, just gorgeous colors of begonias and patterns. I mean, look at, now color-wise, you know, this isn't anything like super colorful, but the patterning on this one is just outstanding, absolutely outstanding. And the fun thing about begonias is a lot of them, the back side of the leaves is just as gorgeous as the front side of the leaves. So that's the Biliarye. All right, next up. This is an interesting one here. So this one, I mean, you wouldn't even think this is a begonia, right? It doesn't look like your classic begonia. This one is the Begonia ByPen. And as you can see, I should have took that out. I should have took that out. I have been struggling with fungus gnats. And the reason is because I'm sure, I mean, I didn't have an issue until I started bringing begonias into my collection. And it's because begonias, they don't like to dry out, as I said earlier. So their soil stays pretty moist all the time. So it's like the perfect breeding ground for fungus gnats. I have been fighting fungus gnats for a bit now. I like to, what I do, okay, if you're fighting fungus gnats also, my favorite thing to use is either I use a systemic pesticide, but I don't like using like the really, like the stuff that has the big warnings on the labels about how terrible it is, don't get it on yourself, stuff like that. So I tend to go more natural. So my favorites are Azamax. Azamax works well to kill the larvae in the soil. Or SNS 203 is another one, very similar to Azamax as far as more natural. That works great, kills the fungus gnat larvae. And then, in addition to that, I use the sticky traps to catch the adults. So yeah, I'll be glad when I can get rid of those sticky traps. So this is the Begonia ByPen, and I have heard or read that this one is a more difficult one. I have not found that to be the case, although I will say when I first got this one, when it first came to me, it did look pretty bad, and this is one that took some time to adjust to the environment. But once it did, you can see just how gorgeous this is. And these get huge. I mean, a lot of these, probably all of these begonias, they potentially can get bigger than this cabinet. So, but I love this one. I just love how just unique it is. It's so kind of, the leaves are so feathery looking. It's just beautiful. Yeah, love it. All right, this one. This is Begonia listata, which is another one I have read. It can be more difficult, I think, because it likes higher humidity, but it's doing just fine in my cabinet. So I would say, if you're one of those people who says, begonias hate me, I can't keep begonias, all you need is a cabinet. Get yourself a cabinet. It doesn't have to be like one of these cabinets. It could be anything. It doesn't even have to be a cabinet. It could be an aquarium, like the terrarium aquarium that I use. They just need high humidity. So you could have, I think you could have any of these begonias as long as you have a cabinet or you live in a really high humidity place. So I do not, so I have to use the cabinets. Isn't that gorgeous? Another beautiful one. This one is Begonia Maurice. And I just love the black leaves. You know, I say one of the things that drew me to begonias is the colorful leaves. Well, even these deep, rich black leaves, they're just amazing. I think they're just gorgeous. Look at the backs. So beautiful. Begonia Maurice, and I love the way it looks in this black plant, looks in this black polka dot planter from the thrift store. Just beautiful. All right, next one, I think we'll just grab this one right here. So this is Begonia Chlorosticta cross Chloronera. And I think this is, oh, well, okay, so look at the back of the leaves. Beautiful red. This is the one that kind of reminds me of a strawberry. Those spots. It's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, just amazing. An amazing one to add to the collection. And it's, in the last time you saw it, this leaf was this size, this new little leaf size. And it didn't take long for it to turn into this gorgeous leaf here. There's that one. So now, let me see. Yeah, I can take this one out. Some of these I can't take out because they're just so big. So this one here, let's see, catch the little name tag down here. Begonia breviremosa species exotica fungus gnat. Fungus gnat. Beautiful, right? Look at this. Apparently this one is not a good shipper. It's like difficult. It doesn't ship well. Well, this one it did just fine in shipping. And it really didn't have any sort of adjustment period. It just has looked beautiful from the beginning, continues to look beautiful. And it has the beautiful bright red or pink coloration, that hot pink. Look at that. So pretty. Highly recommend one of those. Okay, now here is one that I cannot take out of the cabinet. Well, I could, but I'm not going to. So this here is the mother plant, my original, can you see all this here? My original mother plant, Begonia Sinbad. And you can see it's like two big long canes here. And so there's those two, they go that way. And then there's one back here. So, and then there's more growth at the bottom of the pot. So I propagate this one quite a bit. This is one of the propagations from the mother plant. This is one of the first begonias I got when I first got back into collecting begonias again after the terrarium begonias. Then I started collecting some others that don't absolutely have to be in a terrarium. So like when I first got the mother plant Begonia Sinbad, this one sat on my shelf for the longest time, and it did fine. You know, it looked fine. Sometimes it would look a little, you know, it'd get kind of crispy edges. So I put it into the cabinet just to see, and it doesn't get the crispy edges anymore. So while it can live in my really dry climate, where I live, it's pretty dry, it can live outside of a cabinet. It's not going to thrive like it will inside of a cabinet. So, but this one, this lives in my grow tent, so it's always getting high humidity, and I have several of these, and I do sell these in my shop. You can see those cute little flowers it gets. Just beautiful coloration. Love that one. That's Begonia Sinbad. All right, so back here, this here, there's another one. It's another one with some long stalks on it. So here, and then underneath this Sinbad here, down here, is more of that plant. And that is the Begonia White Ice. So let me show you an up close one. This is a propagation from that one. This is the Begonia White Ice. And I believe this would be considered an angel wing begonia. Just really pretty. Just a beautiful begonia. Begonia White Ice. And then, all right, let's look up here. See this up here? This is Begonia Benigo Pink. And this is another one at the same time as that I got the Begonia Sinbad. I got the Benigo Pink. And I will show you a close-up of that one. That would be this one right here. an angel wing begonia. Beautiful, it has that just gorgeous, and look at the backs. Stunning one. This one is actually for sale in my shop right now. So if you are into begonias and you've wanted a Benigo pink, you can get one in my shop. This one is no longer available for sale. There will be more coming because I do have more of these available to list in my shop. So that's Begonia, Benigo pink. So pretty. And let's do this one here. I love like the shape of these leaves. It almost looks like it's like a puff ball, like, because the leaves, they don't stand straight out. They actually kind of curl under. I don't know if you can, let's see, maybe from the back you can see that. See how they kind of curl under? So it looks like pillows. They look like little pillows. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so this one is called Begonia Steve's Leaves Paradox. Obviously this one came from Steve's Leaves. This is one that they created, and it's one of my favorites. Just so beautiful. And very easy care. Very easy care. All of these, really all of these are very easy care in this cabinet. Now, if I wasn't keeping them in the cabinet, I'm sure I wouldn't be saying it's easy care. I'm sure I would be struggling. So yeah, beautiful. Paradox. Steve's Leaves Paradox. And there's one left, and I saved the best for last. They're all the best, but this one, you guys always comment on this one when I'm doing my videos. You bring it up, you mention it. So this here is Begonia. This is Begonia Rex escargot. And it just has like that snail shell look to it. Look at that. And I mean, it's just it's just beautiful. I don't know what else to say about it. The back of the leaves are beautiful. The front of the leaves are beautiful. It's just an amazing begonia. I haven't had any issues with it. And I'm going to include a picture. I'm going to include a picture right here that I just recently took because I looked over and the sun was kind of hitting the leaves a little bit, and it took on, you can see the leaves are just kind of fuzzy, and you can see that purpley pink color in them, and it's just a gorgeous plant. Beautiful one, escargot. All right, that is all the ones in the cabinet. So we are done with the cabinet. Now these next ones I'm going to share with you are all the ones that are living in my grow tent. So like I said, there are some Begonia Sinbad, there's Benigo Pink, there's White Ice propagations that are living in my grow tent. We're not going to look at those again, but these are all the other ones. And these are, I'm keeping them, I actually have this, I brought them up here because they are considered terrarium begonias. I brought them up here in this tray, and they're all pretty small sizes. So these are all little starter plants of terrarium begonias that live in my grow tent. Well, first off, well, no, we saw this one already. This is the Begonia ByPen Pinida. So this is actually when I first got the big one, the mother plant, we'll call it the mother plant since this is the baby. When I first got that one in the mail, it had broken pieces, like pieces of it broke off when shipping, and I stuck them into this little planter here, and they are growing, kind of slow growing, but you can see it is growing. So that, I just wanted to show you that. I think it's so cute. I wanted to show it to you. All right. Moving on. So now this one, this is called the Begonia Mello Costicta. And this one is a really bushy, look how like full and bushy that plant is. I find it very interesting. It seems to me that this one, the leaves must not get very big on it because, I don't know, it's just, maybe they do, but this is how mine is growing. And I love that it's kind of pink. It has kind of pink undertones to it. The underside of the leaves are kind of reddish pink. So that kind of shows through the front of the leaves. But very pretty. Another terrarium begonia. Interesting growth pattern on this one. This one is the Begonia Ceratispatella. And I'm warning you now, I'm probably butchering these names, so just so you know. I'm sure I'm saying it incorrectly. But this one kind of reminds me of, like the color of the leaves, reminds me a lot of this one, which I've already forgotten the name of. I don't remember. I'll put it on the screen, but color-wise, they look very similar. Leaf shape-wise, very different. Whereas this one is, well, this one has like jagged, kind of jaggedy edges. And this one just has more rounded leaves. Cute though. And terrarium begonia. And next, this is the Begonia Chlorophyta Red. So I told you guys I had the Chlorophyta, like the green one. I tried twice with the green and I could not get that one to live. Both of them. I lost both of them. This red one is doing so much better. It's so much more healthy and hardy. It even has a flower. You see the flower? So that's the Chlorophyta Red. Now this one I have two of these. So I don't know if you guys remember, if you've been here at least a few weeks, I did a begonia unboxing. It was like a disaster unboxing and all of the begonias looked absolutely terrible. I think there were 3 begonias. 2 of them did die and I did lose them. And the third one, this is the third one. This one, it pulled through. So this one is called the what is that? Imperialis Silver Stripe. So now the seller ended up sending me replacements for all 3 of them. So I did get a replacement for this one, which actually, this one looks better than this one. But I think the issue with this one, you see how the leaves look damaged? So when I sprayed some plants in my grow tent, the spray got on these leaves and it did that damage. Pretty positive that's what's going on. So that's why it looks, some of the leaves look kind of bad on this one. But this is what it should look like when it looks nice. So that's the Imperialis Silver Stripe. Silver Stripe. Cute. Now this one is really pretty. Look at those leaves. I love the pink. I'm kind of partial to the pink. So this one is the Rosio Punata. Rosio Punata. Kind of slow growers. These are all they're not like super fast. Like these guys are really fast growers. These in here that I'm showing you have not grown super big. This one, this is Begonia Silver Suede, which is, I believe it's a cross between the Begonia Darth Vaderiana and crossed with this one, I believe. This one is the cross, which is called the Rubet. Pretty sure that's the cross. That's what this one is. But this one is called the Silver Suede. And very slow growing, very slow growing. And then another one that's kind of slow growing, Begonia U641. I love the kind of polka dotty spots on this one. Cute. And, well, let me show you the one we just kind of looked at, the Rubet. This one has so many little flowers on it. It's so cute. Cute little white flowers on it. But this is like one of the crosses with this one. I don't have a Darth Vaderiana. Probably saying that incorrectly, but I'm not going to get one of those because I know they're difficult and I just don't want to deal with it. And I can see just from this one how kind of slow and just, yeah, Yeah, I'm not even gonna mess with the Darth Vaderiana. Ooh, I got an itch. Not even gonna mess with it. So yeah, but this one does okay. Rubet. And this one is interesting. This one is, it has really tiny little leaves on it. The leaves do not get bigger than that, I don't think. This is the Paradot, Begonia Paradot. It has like pink stems on it. It'd be really nice in a terrarium. And I think the last of these, this is, the name will be on the screen, but it's like seis morier, seis more, longiciliata, seis more, maybe. I like this one a lot. And these leaves do, pretty sure these size up. They get pretty big, so. Maybe some of these others that I said that leaves are, they stay kind of small. Maybe they will get bigger. I don't know. We'll see. Pretty. All right. Now I have, let's see here. So I told you, so when that seller, when I opened that box and the begonias were in really bad shape and they did replace them. So this was the replacement I got, much bigger than actually the original that they sent. So the original was smaller than this, way smaller than this when I got it. And he sent a much bigger sized one. So this is the Begonia Candy Stripes. Love this one, really love this one. And then the other one, another much bigger than what he originally sent, is this one. Now these have grown. These have been growing in my care, so they weren't quite this big when he sent the replacement. So this is the Begonia, maybe U489. The name will be on the screen, but I love this one. I love the silveriness to these leaves, the shimmeriness on these leaves. That's a pretty stunning plant. I really enjoy this one. And it's been a really good grower, very good growers. All right, and then I have had these in my shop before, Begonia Manow. So the mother plant is downstairs, it's still in my grow tent, so I just brought a sample of it up here. But Begonia Manow, the leaves do stay on the smaller side on this one. And then also, I didn't bring it up, but I will include picture or video of it. I do have a Begonia Jula. I'm going to show you propagations of the original because the mother plant, I just recently, it started getting real leggy, so I chopped it down and I put all the little chops back into the mother plant pot. So that's why it's looking just kind of the way it looks, what you're seeing. But this one, it's a nice one, really nice one, Begonia Jula. Okay, so the final thing I'm going to show you of what is growing in my grow tent, begonia-wise, is this tub filled with begonias. And I very much, and I do have a little sticky trap in there to catch any of the fungus gnats in there, but look at this. I am so enjoying this tub. It's just, so it's sphagnum moss at the bottom of this tub, and then just little propagations just stuck right in there. So we have, right here we have, this is the Berkelii silver edge form, which we looked at right here. I just stuck one leaf stuck in there. And this is what it's become. It's pretty amazing. And let me take you off. We'll just go right into this tub and see what's in there. Okay, so what we have going on here. Now we haven't looked at this one yet. We're gonna look at the mother plant of this one in a little bit. So we're not gonna like talk about this one, but so we did look at this one. This was that longicillata seis more, I believe, is what this one is. that. And then hiding under here, this here is a Begonia Jula. This one with the little spots. Begonia Jula. And what else is in here? I know there's little things hiding. So this one is the jagged edge one. What was that one called? I don't remember the name of it. I'll put it on the screen for you guys. And what's over here? Now this one, I don't remember which one this is. It's one of the terrarium begonias we looked at. This is a little leaf cutting of one of those. I just can't figure out yet which one this would be. Not sure. And this is another one we haven't looked at yet, right here. We will be looking at one of those in a little bit. We're not going to talk about it right now, but we will. And another one we haven't talked about yet. Well, I'll just tell you, this is an Amphioxus right here, Begonia Amphioxus, and then this one is the Milano Bul. And then this one, now it is, no, I guess, yeah, it is rooted. It has started shooting out some roots, but that one was just recently placed in there, so no new growth is coming out of that one yet. And then this is a candy stripe. And there is right here, there's some little leaves popping out on it. And I think, unless there's something else hiding in there. Oh, well, there was something right there. See that brown leaf? Let's see if it's, yeah, it is rooted. That brown leaf, whatever that was, it is rooted because it doesn't pull out. So we're just going to leave it be because I'm sure some new growth will pop out of there. And then this one, this is probably, well, this is one we looked at already. I don't remember the name of it, but, and that one is rooted too. But I don't see any new growth coming out yet. But this is so much fun for me. This little tub of begonias. It's just so fun. I love it. All right, so that's all the plants in my grow tent. So now we are moving to my newest cabinet. It's not really a cabinet. It's the Barina greenhouse shelving unit. I did a whole video on that, on setting that cabinet up. So we are going to look at all the begonias. It's filled with begonias, only begonias, and we're going to look at all the begonias that are in that cabinet. So our first one, so this one is Begonia Solimutata. And I do enjoy the leaf shape on these and the texture of the leaves. They're kind of, they're interesting. I don't know how to describe what it feels like. They're just pretty. They almost look velvety, though they don't feel velvety, but they almost feel like, I don't know. They're just very interesting. So we have that one. And there's quite a few new leaves coming out on that one. And yeah, it's a pretty good grower for me. So this next one, this is one of the, now there's, I guess they're Rexes. Yeah, they're Begonia Rexes, Rex variety, I believe. Pretty sure. But there's, I don't know if you've heard of Harmony, the Harmony begonias. Yeah, so this one is called Harmony's Fatal Attraction. And it just has really beautiful coloration on it. Pretty sure this is a Rex begonia. I'm pretty sure the Harmony begonias are all Rex begonias. I could be wrong. If you know, let me know in the comments. But yeah, this is one that I have high suspicions that if it wasn't kept in a cabinet, it would suffer. It would get crispy edges on it. but because it's in the cabinet, it's doing great. And it's beautiful, gorgeous. So this one is called Begonia Masoniana. This is an iron cross. And I can't wait for this one to really size up. It's drippy, it's dripping. I'm really looking forward to when this one sizes up, because these leaves are really beautiful when they get nice and big. It's just dripping all over the place. Yeah. That's the iron cross. Probably if you are a begonia collector, you probably have one of those in your collection, because they're kind of I feel like they're kind of a staple for begonia collectors. And then this one, I enjoy this one. So this is, what is the name of this one? I don't remember. Kingiana, Begonia Kingiana. I love how it has like a turtle shell look to it. Doesn't it look like turtle shells? And it's very smooth and rubbery. Smooth and rubbery. It's just a cool plant. Eventually I'm going to have some of these in my shop, because I did take propagations, and I have to say, if you ever propagate this plant, it takes forever. I did single leaf propagations on this one. Well, each pot had 2 single leaves in it, and eventually the plant dies, or the leaf dies off. But then little babies, like a bunch of little babies, start popping up. And I'll include a picture of what the propagations are currently looking like. I'm just waiting for them to get bigger, but it is a very slow process with this one. Begonia Kingiana, but very cute. And it does have some flowers. Look how cute those flowers are. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, next up. This is one we saw. So this one, if you remember, it might look familiar when I showed you the tub, the sphagnum moss tub filled with begonia cuttings, and each of those cuttings that were in that tub started as one leaf. This was one of those in there. So this is the Dorian Gray. This is Begonia Steve's Leaves Dorian Gray. Obviously, this is another one that came from Steve's Leaves. And I assume when they say Steve's Leaves Dorian Gray, that means that they created this. This is a cross, some sort of cross they came up with. And yeah, they have amazing begonias. You totally need to check out their begonias if you're into begonias. Or if after watching this video, you're deciding that maybe, you know, I have a cabinet or I have high humidity, maybe I want to start adding some begonias to my collection. Steve's Leaves is a great place to go to start adding to your collection. Or you could go to my website. I do have a couple, I do have a few, and will in the future have more, but yeah, I will be a begonia seller too, but I highly recommend Steve's Leaves. So this is Dorian Gray, and it is a beautiful green leaf with these pink little spots. The back of the leaves are red. It is red. It flowers all the time. And it is a beauty. We'll love this one. It has been a fabulous grower since I got it. It's like the first day I got it. Yeah, it's been pretty amazing. Love that one. So next, this one, what is this called? Begonia Squar Roa. And it's just a nice, it has a darker base to the leaf with the lighter green patterning on it. The backs are really pretty too, kind of reddish. And yeah, just a nice one, just beautiful. Just, this one's got patterning. I love the patterning. It's either the patterning or the color, or sometimes it's a combination of both. And I think you're gonna see, now the lighting isn't the best in this room, so the coloration may not show as good as it does like when it's under grow lights, that it really shows up. So like, okay, so this one, this next one, this is called Begonia Autumn Twist. Just like, look at all the variation in the colors of this. So here we have orange. Here, green, green, kind of like dark, like burnt orange. Yeah, it's just amazing. It looks like autumn. It looks like autumn colors. Very pretty. And then the next one, this is one that a lot of people probably have. So this is a Begonia Silver Dollar. And as the name says, silver. It's got silver shimmeriness to it. And these leaves can get, I believe these leaves get pretty big. So that will be exciting when that happens. I feel like a lot of these I'm showing you right now, they're still acclimating. They're kind of, well, they are, because they're pretty new to that Barina greenhouse. So they're acclimating to that. Like this cabinet here, where I have so many large begonias in here, they have been in here much longer than these have been in their unit, their home, the Barina greenhouse shelving unit. So I feel like they're still acclimating, and I just cannot wait till they like take off like these have done. I think it's just gonna be amazing. But yeah, this one is kind of purpley, kind of has a purple look to it, I think, or pink and silver. Just beautiful. The silver dollar. And then this is another one. This one is called Autumn. So we had Autumn Twist. This was the Autumn Twist. And this one is just called Autumn. So again, it has the beautiful green and orange look to it. The undersides are red. Just gorgeous. Love it. Love the color. And it has a sticky trap in it. I have a lot of sticky traps with my begonias, because those fungus gnats, they really love the begonia pots. So that's Autumn. All right, and next we have another black one, the black leaves. And I would like to, if you have any suggestions for other black leaf begonias, let me know, because I really enjoy those black leaves. So this one is called Begonia Steve's Leaves, another Steve's Leaves variety. This is Deb's Fireflies. I love that name. I don't know if these leaves get bigger. I feel like maybe they don't, because it's called fireflies and they're like little, looks like a bunch of little fireflies. Maybe, maybe kind of whimsical, I think. I don't know. I love this one. Just the black leaves, very similar to the Mo wreaths that we looked at, but a little bit different shape of a leaf, smaller leaf, but still has kind of like almost like a neon green spot in it. I love it. Love that one. And then this one is another Harmonies. This is, I think I only have two, no, I have three. I think I have three Harmony varieties in my collection. So this one is called Harmony's Tongue Twister. And there's just so much pattern and color in these Harmonies varieties, at least the ones I've picked out. Really pretty, very full and beautiful. Another Harmony. This one is called Harmony Macion. Oh, this is Macioniana Tricolor. So this one kind of reminds me a little bit of the Iron Cross, except it's a lighter green, and it's just gorgeous. Isn't it just gorgeous? Stunning. And this is the back, kind of a reddish. When there's light, like when I'm looking at it right now from the back, it just like glows stunningly. I don't know, maybe I can get a picture of what that looks like and put it. It's just like a bright red. Like this part right here looks dark, almost kind of brown. On the opposite side, it looks bright red or bright pink. So pretty. And now this next one is very interesting. It's so different. This one. So this is called the Begonia Paulensis. And I think it's also referred to as like the spider web begonia, because it kind of looks like a spider web. Like it just looks like a spider web. It's just very cool. And it's got these big, huge leaves, beautiful coloration. Look at these stems. Look at these fuzzy stems. It's just so interesting. It's got new leaves. This one is a newer leaf, still has to size up. And new leaves coming out in there. It's just amazing. You see why I enjoy begonias. There's so many different shapes, leaf coloration, texture, sizes of leaves. It's just such a fascinating genus, and I love to collect them. So that's the Paulensis. Okay, so next, that is all the plants, that's all the begonias in the Barina greenhouse shelving unit. So we still have my Millsbo tall IKEA cabinet to look at. But before we do that, do I want to do my aquarium terrarium? I think I will. Okay, so I am going to just gonna show you some video of what's going on in there. So on the right behind the red mushroom is, I have forgotten the name of this one. It is a Rex begonia, I'm pretty sure. This one has lived in this terrarium since I got it. I bought that plant just for the terrarium. It does amazingly in there. And then over to the left is another, I believe, Rex type begonia. That one is on the smaller size because I keep chopping it back. It's beautiful, but I keep chopping it back because right next to it is the Begonia Amphioxus, and I'm trying to get that one to take over that left side of the terrarium. So I'm chopping back the other begonia just so there's more space for the Amphioxus to take over, because I absolutely love the Amphioxus, Begonia Amphioxus. And you will see more of the Begonia Amphioxus because I have several propagations of that plant, which I will show you. They're living in my IKEA Millsbo tall cabinet. And then also I have the original, the mother plant, in a cloche, which I will show you that soon. But before we get to that, I just wanted to give you, isn't this adorable? This was found at the thrift store, this planter. So now the plant in there, now this lives in the Barina greenhouse cabinet, or greenhouse shelving unit. It's not a cabinet. It lives in there, but this is a cutting of that first begonia you looked at in the terrarium behind the red mushroom. This is a propagation from that plant. So just so you can see what it looks like up close. We are so close to the finish line, so close. Okay, so now all of these I'm going to show you, except for one. All of these live in the IKEA Millsbo tall cabinet. All right, so let's start with this one. This one's interesting. So you did see this one earlier, a little propagation in that sphagnum moss tub. This is the Syngonium. What? I almost got through the whole video without mixing up the genus name. This is the Begonia Milano Bul. And it is probably one that everyone who collects begonias has this in their collection. And you're probably wondering, what the heck is this? Well, to be honest, I have no idea what the heck this is. So it's some plant that is growing along with this begonia, When I ordered this, I got this one off of eBay. And when I ordered it, it came, this is how it came. Of course, this was much smaller. It was just like a little tiny little grass behind. This also, the plant was much smaller. But I don't know what this is. Does anyone know what this is? Can you tell? It's just like a grass. But it's kind of cool looking, so I haven't tried to remove it. I don't know. Don't know what it is. So just ignore that. Just ignore this little extra back here. So the Milano Bul this is one that you are getting with this plant. You are getting beautiful coloration, beautiful patterning, beautiful texture, interesting texture. It's kind of spiky. Can you kind of see that? It looks spiky. It's just such an interesting plant. And mine is extra interesting because it has whatever the heck this is growing with it also. I don't know. It's kind of cool though, so yeah. So that's Begonia Milano Bul. Beautiful. And next, let's do this one. This is a classic, a staple. So this is Begonia Immaculata White Ice. Something like, I think most people, even if you are not a begonia collector, I think most people have this one in their collection. And I have to say, this one has been so slow growing for me. I think it might be because it's like at the very bottom of the cabinet, so it doesn't get like a ton of light down there, so that's why it's slow growing. It's pushed out a new leaf. Hasn't done that in the longest time. Or maybe it's just acclimating after I got it. I can't remember how long I've had this one. It's probably been a couple of months, but it's a staple, a classic begonia. I used to have one a few years ago and it lived in ambient room conditions and it did fine. And this is one of those that can live perfectly fine. Even if you live in a dry climate like I do, it does perfectly fine. But I just keep it in my cabinet just because I have the space for it. So I keep it in there. Real pretty, polka dots. And next, this is another one with kind of autumny coloration, oranges and reds and greens. This one is called Begonia Peter Piper. Looks very similar to some others we've looked at. And sticking with kind of that similarity, this is another one kind of similar. This one's the Madame O'Reilly. It's red, a lot of red on this one. A few ugly leaves on this one. Maybe I'll just pinch those off. The nice thing about begonias is pinching those leaves that don't look so nice actually encourages more growth. It seems that way. So if you have just a few ugly looking leaves, just pinch those off and new stuff will come out. It's one of the great things about begonias. And let's see. Well, let's do this big guy up here. There's a big one up here. This one's a big grower. So this is Begonia Gray Feather. Isn't that beautiful? This is a super grower. Super grower. It's like, it grows like these guys in here in the cabinet behind me. Just a really fast grower. Very pretty too. Kind of a soft bluish gray color to it. And then the backs are red. Really pretty. That's the Begonia Gray Feather. Highly recommend that one. And I think the last one, okay. The last one we're going to look at, but there's actually 4 of the last one we're going to look at. So it would be the Begonia Amphis, which is another one. I feel like a lot of people have this one because it's just so unusual. I mean, look at these. It's just so unusual. It's like, it makes me think of like Dr. Seuss. Like, you know, just unusual and colorful and just weird. Just kind of weird. That's what I think of. So I have this one. This is a propagation, and let me show you the mother plant. This would be the mother plant. So this one has lived in this cloche since I got it. So I've trimmed it, I've cut it, and then I put a cutting in my aquarium terrarium. There's a cutting in there growing, and then you just saw one of the cuttings, and then I have like 2 more. I've got this one and this one. So once this plant is happy, it just takes off. It just grows like crazy. So a really nice one, really unusual pattern, unusual shape. The shape of the leaf is just unusual. It's just very cool. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that is my entire begonia collection. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. So that's going to be it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed seeing my entire begonia collection. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.